All right, welcome to another episode of C10's Garage. Specifically, this was kind of requested about the LSL Spigler kit for the Gen 2 Hayabusa. So I'm going to go through a couple of things, the pros and cons. Looking back to do it all over again, I probably would have probably tried to strengthen my core a little bit more like it is today, and stayed with the risers on the stock top clamp. However, this does definitely take some weight off the wrists. A lot of people don't like the way it looks. It doesn't truly look like a true sport bike anymore to some of them. But one of the issues is Spigler LSL ABM, the top clamp. They don't make enough clearance. You can see these marks here on my clamps. So you always got to fiddle with the tank to get it past. You're never going to avoid these marks. They should have moved everything maybe about 1 millimeter up and machined, or radius this a little bit differently. Second of all, clearance, all your fairings have to be cut. I got tired of always doing the curved shape like I'd done on all my previous ones, and I just started cutting a straight line. What works best is about a 32 tooth, teeth per inch, hacksaw blade or bandsaw. Then you go through, you can reshape with a coarse file, come back with a fine file, and then come back with some 200 and 300 grit sandpaper, and then buff it with some cloth, and it comes out with a beautiful factory edge. Now, the biggest problem, and it's happened to many people out there, you'll notice that I have no mirrors on here anymore. I have bar end mirrors. So they tell you in the instructions to test fit, make sure all the cables, nothing binds or anything like that. So of course, nothing bound or anything like that. And when I test fit everything, I actually had the mirrors off. So on my first test ride going down the neighborhood, I was turning, I just barely noticed that my knuckle touched the stock mirror. I was going for a ride with a friend. I was like, well, I'll have to make some adjustments when I get home. Well, went to do a U-turn, went full lock to lock, and when I went all the way lock to lock, I jammed my right hand underneath the mirror completely, which applied enough throttle for about 3,000 RPMs while I was in first gear trying to make a U-turn. And of course, we were up on a plane like this. It was uphill. I did the left leg foot sweep, didn't catch the bike, fell over. $1,700 worth of body damage on the left side there, and the stator cover, little crash guard there, saved a lot of damage. I didn't do any major damage. The engine kill switch, the tip over switch worked, and what it had done, why it applied the throttle is you have large knuckle protectors on your grips, and I kept the clutch pulled in, so didn't actually have too bad of a crash. Ruined a $600 Shoei helmet. So I was pretty bitter for quite a while about it. So I hope nobody else has to deal with that. If you have an ABS bike, they're going to provide you a clutch line, or not a clutch line, a brake line, and the ABS pump is right over here. Make sure when they send you the line that it has a standard banjo up on the master cylinder, and then it has a ferrule end on the ABS side. They sent me the wrong line, so that put me down even longer last time. Some other pros about the ABM LSL kit is you do drop 4.5 pounds of weight off the bike, and that's even when you keep the bar ends, because there's actually 2 top clamps there, and the standard bars are solid aluminum as opposed to a hollow handlebar. So you'll drop some weight off the top of the bike. Here's some close-ups. It's also a little bit easier to lower the bike some if you want. This bike is actually not lowered. That's actually how much the fork leg stuck out of the lower triple that was factory, and then of course you had your second top clamp that your bar's mounted to. I hope this answers some of your questions. If you have any more, post it up in the thread, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. But it definitely does take the weight off the wrists. Very comfortable ride all day long. Go lots of miles. I've done 3 iron butts on the bike with the setup, with the Russell Daylong seat and the handlebar clamp setup. So later.